It's a good thing we are among friends here as we're talking about our public lands on the radio today. From the Bureau of Land Management, I have a full house, and all these great guests in studio are going to talk about any number of programs, of course, of which we're really pleased to feature news from the BLM. We have Jason Freeman. He's from the Wells Field Office, and Jason has some news about some recent advancements there in planning and some implementation projects. Everybody loves their campgrounds, Jason, so that'll be cool. Melissa Fry and Madi Harris are here, and they are both working for the Raptor Group, which you got to love the sound of that. So we're going to find out all about what Raptor is during the winter and hiring season if you too want to join this exciting crew. And we are so pleased to have Amanda Halsey in from California Trail Interpretive Center, where I told you it was a total star lineup here, and Amanda's talking about bows and throws and a taste of the California Trail, all kinds of cool stuff. Just when you think the fun is ending at California Trail Center, nope, they're just ramping up again. So we are excited about that. So Jason, we're going to start with you today. And first of all, thank you for coming on the radio with us. And did you want to maybe talk about yourself or your career a little bit too? Maybe introduce yourself. That'd be cool.
Sure. Sorry. Thanks for having me. Jason Freeman. I've been with the Wells Field Office for just about 3 years now. Prior to that, I bounced around a little bit, was with the Coast Guard, Bureau of Reclamation, and contracted for about 12 years in the private sector.
So now you're in the Sagebrush Ocean.
Now I'm in the Sagebrush Ocean. With that, got tied into Tabor Creek since that falls in the Wells Field Office, and we know how the community uses Tabor Creek. And to date, it's got 12 sites, three vault toilets. However, none of them have been made ABA accessible, so we decided to leverage the bipartisan infrastructure law to secure some extra funding. And through that funding, we were able to submit to change 2 sites to be ABA accessible, as well as one of the vault toilet areas. That decision has been signed, and the contract is about to solicit here in November, looking at implementing sometime late next year. So fall 2024, we'll be doing the construction to make 2 of those sites more accessible to the community and help improve user experience and access across the campsites.
So for those who know where Tabor Creek is, Jason, they know, and they're probably saying, don't tell everybody, but we should kind of let everybody in on, since it is so popular. Where would you say Tabor Creek is in comparison to Wells?
If I had to say in comparison to Wells, I would compare it probably to Elko personally, since that's where I'm out of. So coming out of Elko headed east towards Wells, I'd get off at the Death exit. It's about an hour north of Death if I had to ballpark pitch it. Okay.
And do you think it's popular for what kind of reasons? Just getting away from it all?
People like to use it, get away. You don't have as much cell phone service, but if you need to, you can run to the end of the road, have it. There's a little bit of fishing there and just some rudimentary campsites with basic amenities.
Oh, they do have fishing there. Cool.
I believe it's very minor.
Okay. Some fishing if the water's running, if there's some water there. So that sounds good. Tabor Creek Campground. And then people are also getting out in the backcountry right now, right, with Christmas tree and firewood hunting?
They are. As of the 1st, we have Christmas tree permits available through December 24th. The permits are $5 each and can be purchased either at the office or online. The website's forestproducts.blm.gov. And it's also the same location where people can get wood cutting permits, which are $6 a cord with a 2-cord minimum and 10-cord maximum.
Now, it may seem a little early for some people harvesting Christmas trees, but, sometimes groups get out and harvest trees. They go as a family, or they invite a few people. So it's good to kind of get your permits in hand, right?
It is.
So you can get those either in person or online?
Or online, both locations.
All right, sounds good. And you can get them at the Montello Post Office, which is nice for those folks. And there are some specific areas, right, Jason? You can't just go out and cut down a tree that looks good, huh?
There are specific areas that is able to be found when you come into the office or online. I know for wood cutting permits, some of the recommended locations are Spruce Mountain, the Cherry Creeks, Pequops, and the Wood Hills, among some others.
And if you're going to get out, always a good idea to tell someone where you're going, right? And follow what's called a trip plan.
It is. Safety is definitely paramount. We want you to make it back home alive, so let somebody know where you're going and stay in contact with them.
All right. And this cold weather, we might get some snow, even if it's just a dusting. It can be much more in those outlying areas. You can get, snow, surprising amounts of snow. And so you want to be prepared with your chains, your snow tires, pack extra supplies. That's probably stuff that you learned in the Coast Guard, too. You always have to have extra stuff, right?
It's always good to be prepared.
Yep. And, you need a life jacket, obviously, if you're in the Coast Guard. But still, thank you, Jason. You made that short and sweet. Do you have anything else that we want to talk about from the Wells Field office before we hand off?
I don't personally have anything else. We can hand it to one of them.
All right, to one of them. We've got Melissa. Okay. You're pointing to Amanda. I was going to save Amanda for last because she's always like, oh, and then we could talk about this, and then we can talk. Yeah. So we'll let her do. Is that called cleanup in batting? Yeah. Okay. Cleanup in sports and baseball. All right. Perfect. She's going to do cleanup for us. So of our next guest today, we have Madi Harris and Melissa Fry, and both of these professionals work for what's known as the Raptor Group. And Madi, you are a recruitment specialist, so you're definitely used to talking with people. She's been with the BLM for 4 years. This is going in her 5th year. And usually you're on an engine. Is that right?
I am on an engine. I was originally out of Wells Station. And with how this season went, which was a little slow, but I ended up back in Elko. So I've been here for the rest of the 2 months, I believe, but it's been good.
Would you mind telling our listeners, especially if someone's considering a career in firefighting, how you got into it?
So I didn't know a whole lot about wildland fire, and I found out about it from a friend who had posted a couple pictures on Instagram, and I was seeing a lot of their Snapchats, and so I was like, what is this and what's going on? And then I ended up actually watching a wildland fire movie called Only the Brave, and if you are listening, you should definitely watch it. It was a great movie, and I watched that and said, this is something that I could see myself doing. And it's just the thrill, the adrenaline, the drive. It's definitely something that people should look into and just become more familiar about as well. I don't feel like we have a good representation of everybody knowing what wildland fire is and what it all entails.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully that's changing, and especially with groups like yours, the Raptor Group, you're working on recruiting folks, certainly. We also know that conditions are changing on a federal level, so that, seasonal jobs might become, more full-time jobs, because that certainly makes it nice when you're as passionate and dedicated as you are.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of seasonal jobs, which is kind of geared towards the high schoolers, and that's kind of what my job is in the district, is to go out to the schools and reach out to the seniors that may have those summer opportunities and that time off to just take the 3 months to come out and work for that shorter period of time. And then usually they'll fall in love with it, because I haven't met a lot of people that have worked in fire and have said that they didn't like it. So yeah, they'll usually end up coming back and they'll get those career seasonal positions and end up as a full-time employee.
Nice. And Madi, did you happen to go to school around here, or?
I did. I graduated from Elko High in 2017, and then I went and got my AA in California, and I didn't exactly gear my degree towards fire, but
it's a degree. Your parents will say, it's okay, just get the degree, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's great news, though. So obviously, even if folks are engaged in higher education right now, you can certainly steer toward this, as you mentioned, on a seasonal level, right?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And there are some opportunities with BLM where you can get your EMT license if that's something that you're kind of interested in, and they have bonuses for the people that do have those licenses, and do some line medic stuff and detail out into different positions where you can exercise that degree.
Very nice. Obviously, Madi will have you fill in any blanks. I know that Melissa's anxious to talk about this too, but did you want to, she's like, no, not really. So people love being on the radio with me. Do you guys notice that? I love having you here. So thank you. Really, I really appreciate it. It's always encouraging to hear all the great work that's being done by, wonderful people who care about their public lands and interacting with the public the way you do. So there is, you're going to be meeting here in the community and talking to people about these positions, right, Madi?
Yes, we are. We did just have the Elko College Career Fair at the convention center. And so we were able to meet with a good handful of kids and students. And I'm planning to meet with each high school face-to-face with the seniors, and hopefully get a couple more potential employees. And then Other than that, we're going to be meeting at the college every Wednesday starting November 29th through December 20th from 5 to 7 to help with any students or public that have any questions, any help needed with building a resume or application for the website that we use, which we do go through USA Jobs. It can be a little hairy here and there. So me and Melissa will be at the college if anybody just wants to come chat us up about the job or any opportunities, and we will definitely help you in any way that you need.
That's great. And are there certain minimum requirements, would you say, Madi?
The minimum requirements for the temp applications that we're trying to push right now, you just need to be 18 years old at the time of hire. So if you are 17 and wanting to apply, but I believe it's before June, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
June for rookie school, yep.
Yeah, so
You're 18 then.
if you turn 18 before June, you were set to go. And we also have an ENA, the Eastern Nevada Agency, which is a hand crew. For those of you who don't know what a hand crew is, it's just about a 20 to 22 person crew that works not on an engine, just you usually line out to wherever they need you in the country, and you're, just digging line and maybe doing some backburns and stuff like that. But they also have a camp crew where you can be 16 years old and you're kind of aiding in the assistance of engines and stuff, kind of dealing out lunches or setting up camp for bigger fires.
You get to be outdoors.
Yeah, all the time. 2 weeks at a time, outdoors constantly.
Yeah, and a lot of people love that. I mean, a lot of people sitting in offices right now say, boy, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and we may come back to you, Madi, too, especially if Melissa says, hey, Madi knows more about that. Will that work for you?
Yeah, go ahead. Pass
thank
it
you.
off.
Yeah, definitely. We want to make sure. Melissa's nodding, and so I'm going to scoot that microphone up to you, Melissa. Thank you for, come on, sit up a little bit closer.
A little bit
There you
closer.
go.
There we go.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Melissa, for being on the program. Melissa is one of the Nevada state leads for the Raptor Group, and she works with the Nevada State Office. And you've been with the agency for 12 years and 6 in fire. And so, wow, you have this cool job. You are usually the single engine air tank manager. Tell us about what it's like to manage a seat.
Yes, again, I'm a single engine air tanker manager. We run a
I got
air
these new
tanker
boots.
base.
They're terrible. I'm not gonna lie. I just pulled the headphones off.
Have you stood up close? Okay, is that better?
Thanks, Amanda. She's cracking up over
giggling.
here.
Yes. I enjoy my job. I do get to work with single engine air tankers. They're the ones that drop fire retardant. They're not the large air tankers that you'll get out of Battle Mountain or Reno Stead, some of our closer air tanker bases. We do run a tanker base out of Wells, Nevada. I started in the office as a student, getting my degree, finished my degree, had no desire to do anything with my degree.
What was that in?
Natural resources here
Oh,
at
I
GDC.
see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then ended up in fire, enjoyed fire, was a seasonal, and then ended up getting a permanent position. So, we're good examples of what can happen, and starting out as seasonals and becoming career seasonals. And we are lucky. We've both been on this district, for the time that we've been here. We've all been in Elko, so we didn't have to go move around. So Elko district is very, very good about trying to, help all their employers just stay here. We all have families and lives, and so it's kind of nice.
Yeah. And so do you, because we know that BLM, all the agencies, their air, ground crews, and talking about seats, do you go up in the aircraft?
We are not, when they're on contract, we're not allowed, but we load them with fire retardant. We tell them where to go. We get orders from dispatch. We maneuver all aircraft on the ground just with the same federal excuse me. Wow.
You're fine.
I normally can talk.
You're doing great. You are doing great. I'm
Federally
the one that's
regulated
yanking
hand
headphones
signals.
out. Yes.
So if you go to any,
Okay.
large airport, we're going to be running the same hand signals to park so that they know, the aircraft knows what we're doing, and we can talk to them without technically being on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's fun.
And you get to work with a lot of, especially when it's fire season, because I know, and just as Madi said, it was a little bit of a long stretch there. I mean, we're grateful to not have fire, but we know we're going to have fire. And so it's just a matter of, what season, I guess, belongs to us. You get to work with a lot of different people on the ground, like ranchers and other folks, townspeople, right? When
Yes, we get to work with everybody just like they do. It's just, aircraft's nice because we can get there really quick, as fast as possible, and try to get something before people get on the ground. Yeah, there's just lots of opportunities. One nice thing about being a seasonal at the tanker base is you don't have to go to rookie school if you don't want to. It's not a for sure thing. But I always push it for my seasonals because, a tool in your toolbox, they can't take it away. So it's just those certificates that you have, and there's nothing they can do to take it away. So it's pretty cool experience, especially for people that are interested in aviation, the aviation side of it. Yeah.
And you do meet a lot of different people, and you can travel, right? As you said, it's nice because you have families here, but if you want to go somewhere?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 53 tanker bases in the West, so there's a lot of opportunities to be able to go out and travel. We do the same time frame, 2 weeks on, or you could do 3 weeks if you get extended. Yeah.
And has it helped too, Melissa, would you say, having these, different enhancements at the federal level, to make this your career and to encourage other people to come on?
Enhancements?
Well, meaning better pay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that helps. I mean, but one great thing is I love my job, no matter
Yes.
what. So
That is nice.
if somebody actually loves their job, it doesn't matter what they get paid. We've done a lot of, extra work, and just because we love what we do. Yeah. I'll just talk about the Raptor program really quick, if you don't mind.
Please, yeah, tell us
So
what
the
that
state
stands
office, Chris Weaver out of Carson City started it about 2.5 years ago, and it's the recruitment, application, pre-employment, training, and retention. Yes, it's a mouthful, but it's the Raptor group. So he started this a couple years ago, and it's kind of nice because we're getting recruiters from each district to do winter work that have been here, that know what's going on, know all the positions, such as Maddie does. And so it's nice because she's got experience here in Elko, and we can really push positions here. Yeah.
And winter work might be, do you go out and do like mitigation? I think Elko Fire Protection District and some of those crews.
Do a lot of reseeding,
Yeah.
especially after fires. We'll do a lot of reseeding, fence rehab. We'll do aerial, like helicopter reseeding if we need, mowing. Yep, anything else that needs to be done around the district. Kind of housekeeping stuff that
Things that we can't really take care of when we're
Yes,
out for 2 weeks at a
exactly.
time, and
Yeah.
we don't have the time for it during the actual fire season.
And it's more outdoor work, which is just
Yeah.
perfect for you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So nice. So it could be, like you said, fixing fence or, yeah.
And it's nice with this group is that we're really not just trying to get people hired. We're not just going, hey, look at this is our cool job. You want to join? We're going to help you hold your hand to apply. If you have questions, we're going to get you through the whole hiring process, help you fill out paperwork, training needs, and then try to keep you around with retention.
And do you do things like the PAC test? And I think you mentioned rookie school is recommended, but
Yes.
So you do a PAC
Yep,
test?
you can still do the PAC test. If you want to go to rookie school, you got to take the PAC test. 45 minutes, 45 pounds, 3 miles. Yeah.
All right. That sounds great, you guys. And so obviously we should mention if there are any deadlines or the application process is now, right, Maddie?
Yeah, so the biggest thing that we're kind of pushing right now is the temp seasonal positions for the engines and seat base. They open on December 4th and close December 26th. So that's going to be our entry level positions, the GS 3, 4, and 5 series.
That's not a bad place to start.
No, that is a great place to start.
Yeah, great. And any number of recruits that you're looking for, or just you'll take as many as you can?
Yeah, we're taking them all.
Well, we're filling engines in Carlin, Midas, Winnemucca, Wells, and Elko. So there's quite a few engines that need to be filled across the district.
Yep.
We also have dispatch positions that are open
There
right
are,
now?
I believe, 1 to 2 seasonal dispatch positions, and those positions are actually open currently and close on the 14th of November.
Okay, so coming right up. But that's also a really important job and can lead to a great career.
Oh, absolutely.
I think our friend Clint Mothershed did some dispatch, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I'm sure he loved every minute of it. So we couldn't do a radio show on the BLM without mentioning you, Clint. So thank you. Yes,
Shouts out.
Yes, definitely shouts out for that. So, oh yeah, and I'm looking here. Basically, I think we have covered a lot of the list that you brought. Oh, we did talk about hell attack, did we? Did we talk about?
We didn't talk about Hell Attack.
Shall we?
The applications for Hell Attack are open currently. They do not exactly hire entry-level positions, are more looking for at least a year of experience with fire. And so their positions are for a GS 4 through 7 currently. Hell Attack, for those of you who are listening and don't exactly know what that is, it is aviation, helicopters, also known as ships, which I almost just threw that out there. So helicopters for fire suppression. The crews are primarily initial attack resources. So helicopters can get to the fire first, obviously, much quicker than crews, and sometimes even seats as well. And so as a heli-attack crew, you'll fly in, you'll land, they'll drop you off, and you're just getting taxied to the fire, which is sweet. And you get on the ground and you can start working, ASAP, calling in bucket drops and using the ship to your own advice and stuff.
You don't have to rappel out. That's
that's different repellers.
category.
That is in fire though.
Yeah. And I do think that the ship's reference to the heli-attack is probably, you have to decide, is it a Star Trek or Star Wars reference?
Oh my God.
Good question.
I know. We better not get into that divisiveness on this radio show, but very cool. So obviously a lot of exciting opportunities. And if you're in high school now and not sure what you want to do, or this is the time to get in and start talking about it, right?
And for the high schoolers that may kind of don't exactly know where they want to go in the fire realm, engines is the greatest place to be, I would say. I'm biased, of course. But I have had the opportunities to detail onto heli-attack with hand crews, with different areas. I've been able to go with the seat base if I wanted to. Melissa's invited me. So you can, just get a taste for everything in your first year and then decide after that where you want to be.
That's very cool. And appreciate your time, ladies. And I know that you've encouraged, and I say ladies, but you are professionals, and your gender doesn't matter. I mean, and that's the other cool thing, right?
Yep.
I mean, absolutely. So if you want to find out more about this, the BLM is hiring engine crews, hand crews, dispatch, seat base, Elko, Wells, Carlin, Midas, and of course those heli-attack positions we just talked about. And I see here the words good and fun. That's important to you, I can tell, right?
Yes.
They were big smiles. That's when I wish this was TV, so you could see the antics of me yanking headphones out with my feet and the big smiles of my participants today. So this is a great career.
Absolutely. I recommend it.
Quality of
Everywhere I
life. All right.
I
That
don't know
sounds.
what we would do.
I have no idea. Actually, I think about it all the
Yeah,
time.
I do too. Like,
There's no backup plan.
we meet a lot of kids and we're like, what are you going to do? And they're like, I'm going to be a dental hygienist. And we're like,
Wow.
you know what you want to do. We're still how old and we don't know.
Like, I just want to play outside with my friends.
Yeah.
And I do it every year.
Oh, that's great. And remember, speaking of friends, ENA crews are as young as 16. Hand crews are 18 years old and up. And those applications are due by April. And otherwise, 18 and up. And just like the folks sitting in this room, you can enjoy an exciting career that could take you anywhere or just take you within miles of your home. So, yeah. Did we get to all of the talking points today, Melissa and Maddie, as far as these positions, do you think?
I believe we did. I think we are all skookum.
All right, scoop them, and you can. I'm learning so much new stuff today, and you can actually come back anytime. I hope you do come back often. And I did want to, Jason, just get, because Amanda's getting her microphone ready. So we wonder, Jason, is military a good jumping off point too for jobs like this, since you had your experience in the Coast Guard?
Well, my experience is a little different, but I would say those who have served have a very good step in, and they have some governmental procedures. There's actually a program that the agency's starting to use called the Skill Bridge program, which allows active duty service members to transition about 6 months early and do an internship, and the agency's offered a few. I think we're about 8 right now throughout the entire BLM. One actually here, offered in Elko, and the individual should hopefully start in February, and they'll still be active duty for the last 6 months, get to experience the agency, transition a little early, build their resume, and then look at permanent positions afterwards.
Oh, that's fantastic. Really, thank you for letting us know about that, because there are some amazing people that have served and they're ready to be done and do something else. So it's nice to know that you can kind of step into that, right?
There is a good path to transition over.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for coming out to Nevada too, by the way. So cool. Being from Wyoming. Yeah.
Well, actually from back east originally, just did some time in Wyoming.
Oh, you don't
been
have...
all around.
Oh, that's nice. That's very, very cool. Back east, like how far back east? And you
Grew up on the East Coast, spent time all up and down the eastern seaboard, and did some time at DC and at the shipyard back there, and I've been pretty much coast to coast at this point.
Oh, nice. Well, we hope you are enjoying Elko and would like to stay. So thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Jason. Yeah, absolutely. And now Amanda is settled in, and as she, thank you, Amanda Halsey, for being back, and thank you for all the cool things you have been doing this season. You guys, you had like 1,000 people for the eclipse.
Oh man, we've been so busy. I actually have like 5 or 6 things to talk to you about that we're doing this month, but I'm like, it's a slow month compared to everything that we've been doing this summer. We've had, film festivals, the eclipse where, over 1,000 people came out that day, and we have just been rocking and rolling out there. So I think we are officially now in our slow season, but I say that very loosely.
Yeah, who knows? Because the word is out. California Trail Interpretive Center is definitely a great place for families. It's a nice place for just kind of relaxing, unwinding, enjoying some art, enjoying just the stories and the interpretation out there. There's now the new Native American. I think there's an exhibit out there regarding the Ruby Treaty, right?
Yeah, that is a temporary exhibit that we have right now, and so I do encourage everybody to get out there and take a look at that. We are looking for input from the public to see if that's something that we want to, keep forever. So get out there and check that out. We did have a big session with the community, and people came out and we had good food, and I think Lydia Snow, I think is her last name. She has been writing nonstop about us out there at the California Trail Center and Elko Daily, and she's out there so often now. I'm just, hi, Lydia. It feels like she's part of the team.
And that's the kind of enthusiasm that creates these programs that you're going to talk about today, too. Really, thanks, Amanda. You do a terrific job, you and the rest of the crew. It's a pretty small staff, and I think your boss is also former military, if I don't.
Me, I am. I was Navy.
You were, that's right,
Yes,
Amanda.
and
Yes.
Brownlee, I guess. Yeah, he was also Army. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming off of a real ship.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny. Jason, he went from the ocean to the desert, and now I went from the desert to the ocean. But, we all trying to experience everything that there is out there. So, we have a couple of vets out at the center, which is very cool. Actually, it's the first position that I've had where I've got to work with other vets. And so I realized that some of my little quirky things that I do are not really all that quirky. It's just that I wasn't around the same people.
It's part of that whole military experience. And training. Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, we benefit from it, Amanda.
Yeah, well, thank you. So let me give you the lowdown on our November. So, of course, we're going to stick to our bows and throws program on Sundays. So that will be archery one week, and then we alternate for the other week is axe and knife throwing. The only stipulation is that we asked for the axe and knife throwing 7 years and up. So we don't really have anything for small hands to throw axes. And then tomorrow, we're really looking forward to our Taste of the Trail, and that's going to be at 11 a.m. So we are going to have, I want to say 4 stations with Dutch ovens going. We're going to be making lentil soups, bacons, like old-timey trail foods, and drinks as well. And then we'll have just like tea and water and different things like that available. So if anybody wants to come out at 11 a.m. tomorrow, you can sample a couple of different things that were eaten a long time ago on the trail. So that's really exciting. And then to kind of keep that ramped up, we're going to do Pioneer Butter on the 18th at 1 out at the center. So I guess this month we're going to be primarily focusing on food, which makes sense because it's, Thanksgiving month. So we have lots of yummy things for you guys to come out and experience at the center. And then if you are looking more for being outdoors, we have an evening hike at 5 p.m. on the 25th. And you can contact us to find out more information, or if you know where Carlin Canyon is, that's going to be the meeting point. But yeah, if you want to come to any of these things, I do recommend RSVPing, which can be done through our Facebook page or through our website, which is the CaliforniaTrailCenter.org. And we just want people to RSVP, that way we can get enough supplies and things like that. We know how many people to expect. We want to make sure that everybody gets to participate. So that's what the RSVP system is for. If you are not very good with technology, you can always just call us. It's 738-1849, just like, the Gold Rush year, 1849. And then something fun that I kind of wanted to mention that we've been doing every weekend, and this is not something that you can call an RSVP for, but we've been doing just a small pop-up program called Gold Fever. And all of the staff take turns doing this, and so we have all individually made a experience, I guess you could say, for people to come and enjoy, just spur of the moment. When we get big crowds, we will go around and ask, do you guys want to participate in this Gold Fever program, which is about 15 minutes long, and we kind of walk you through the center and tell you the story of the gold rush. But the thing that's cool about it is it's all personalized by the person who's giving it that day. So none of us do the same thing, but it's all the same story. So it's kind of fun.
It's told from different viewpoints, just
Yeah.
like every good story is.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of like you can come and collect them all if you want to.
What a great idea. That's super cool.
Yeah, it's super fun. And then we are, of course, because school has started back up, we are in our field trip season, which is my favorite season because I got my degree in early childhood education. And much like you guys, I was like, what am I going to do? But then I found this job at the center, and I get to work with kids, and I don't have to experience that classroom burnout, which is so nice. So Evie is our education lead, and she has sent out, I think she said 300 emails to teachers in the area. And it was a pretty good record. I think only 15 or so came back to her that weren't able to be delivered. So if you were one of those unfortunate emails that didn't get delivered, I'm here to tell you the process today so you can still book a field trip with us. All you have to do is go to CaliforniaTrailCenter.org. There you'll see an education link, and you can click on that, and then it'll say for teachers, and then you can click on that, and that will lead you to the instructions to book a field trip with us. And then Evie wanted me to put in that it's not just for like public schools. If you are a homeschool or anything like that, we've had Acton come out and do stuff with us before. I think there's a special instructions portion where you can just say, we're a homeschool group and this is what we're learning about, and we can curate a field trip for your age groups and things like that. So that is all available through our website. And again, if people aren't good at technology, I just mention that because I'm not always the best. You can always just call us and we can walk you through anything or just sign you up ourselves. So I'll put the phone number out again just in case. It's 775-738-1849.
Oh, Amanda Halsey, thank you. Southern Nevada Conservancy provides your employment with us, and we have to mention that, well, meaning in a good way, we want to mention them and thank them because that's a wonderful partnership to have.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, and to remind that the Trail Center is now open winter hours, right?
Yes, that's right. So 5 days a week. It's Wednesday through Sunday, and we are open from 8:30 in the morning until 5 p.m.
And Fridays are a great day at the center because with no school, right, it's a nice alternative.
Yeah, absolutely. So Friday is a great day to come out, just experience the center and everything we have to offer. We have the outdoor things to do. The weather is still nice, which is so surprising, but I'm not complaining at all. So you can come out and use the hiking trails. And then when it does snow, of course, we have our snowshoes available. So if people wanted to hike in the snow, that's an option as well. But yeah, just come on out, see all the things that we have to offer out at the center. It's always free. And then on Fridays is the day that we're doing pop-ups for that Gold Fever program. So
nice.
You might catch us doing that.
And so if you have little ones that get a little cabin fever, there are great exhibits outdoors. I mean, you can literally run around the outside of the center, right?
Yeah, yes, and they do.
They do, yes. There's some beautiful sculpture, by the way. So there's lots of art. That's the other thing. And the exhibits are not static, and oftentimes, as you talked about, they're freshened up or there's new perspectives. If you think you've been to the center, definitely go back because there's probably something new. Oh, and I wanted to give you a chance to talk about Larry, your artist in residence, right, Amanda?
Oh, yes, Larry. We're so excited. So Larry is a local artist and author, and I think he writes articles for the paper from time to time. He's just such an impressive person. He's also on the board for the Trail Center, and we have chose him to be our artist in residence. So he's going to be doing some pottery for us, which is really exciting. We have decided to put that on pause for now just because because we think in the summer we'll have a better turnout for people to come see his program. And so you guys can look forward to looking at some pottery art and joining a program where maybe we can even put some together. So we'll be looking out for that in the summer. But right now we're winter time, and so the next thing we have is Pioneer Christmas. So I'll bring Evie next month to talk to you guys about that a little bit.
Oh, thanks so much. Pioneer Christmas. You had a fun Halloween gathering too.
We did have a fun Halloween. The kids love to carve potatoes.
Who would have thought it? They're sick of pumpkins. Give us something else to carve.
They wanted a challenge. Tiny little pumpkin.
How adorable.
Yeah, it was very cute. Yeah, we had a great time, and we had everybody dress up like Pioneer ghosts, and it was great. It was really fun.
And then you had a costume little parade or something, a little contest.
Yeah, just like a little costume show off. And I asked the kids, do you want to show up? Because we made several traditional crafts. So I always said, do you want to show off your potato, or do you want to show off your corn husk doll or anything? And they all wanted to show everything off and dance to show their moves. So it was just very fun. It was well received in the community. That was our first time trying a Halloween party. So I think that's something that we'll do again next year.
Yeah, people are looking for those. I mean, especially you can get overloaded in one thing or another. So it's nice to combine these activities at California Trail Interpretive Center, which is, of course, an agency, the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management, but it's really a partnership. It's a collaboration. The community helped build it. You know, you mentioned you have a board of directors. You have a foundation that helps support these events in perpetuity. But you get this educational piece because these activities are often, they come directly from Pioneer Diaries, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are interested in like hearing a little bit more about Pioneer Diaries, I really encourage people to follow our Facebook page, as we have a couple of different series. Like on Monday, we do Memoir Mondays, and then we'll put little posts together with a picture and some stuff from diaries and things like that. On Fridays, we do Frontier Friday, so that could really be a mixed bag of what you're going to get. But I encourage people to follow along because there's some really fun posts that we're putting out there.
Oh, I'm sure. Thank you so much for the reminder on that, too. So lots of ways, Amanda, to get information about your California Trail Interpretive Center. And just have to say that I know the founders would just be so proud. You know, I think of Paul Sawyer, and I think of Bob Pierce. I think of Dale Porter. I mean, there are so many people that were involved in this early on. Obviously, Helen Hankins, who is still with us, and so and heads up the foundation efforts. And I shouldn't name names because then I end up inadvertently leaving people out. But there are so many people who care so much about the center, Amanda.
Yeah, absolutely, and it shows because that place is well taken care of, and the staff is just happy to be there. And so I think when people come out there and get to experience it, they can tell that there's a lot of effort that went behind it.
Well, thanks for letting us be involved and engaged, encouraging all this community participation in our local history and that of our pioneer travelers who, gosh, they didn't stick around, and all the gold that they tramped over while they were looking for gold. It's pretty amazing when you think about that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, Amanda, thanks for being on the program. I think we got to your topics today.
Yeah, we got everything out there, and like I said, if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to us.
As always, and thank you to Melissa, and thank you Madi Harris and Melissa Fry. We're here from Raptor, and they are encouraging applicants for any number of BLM firefighting opportunities. So thank you, ladies, and thank you, Jason, so much. Jason Freeman's come over from the Wells District. Well, I say now, you come over like it's a big trek or something, but Wells is a very cool community and has lots of things going on, and we appreciate all the improvements that are going to be made at the Tabor Canyon there, or the Tabor Creek Campground in the Wells area. Thank you, listeners, for joining us for Elko Live today here on KELK, talking about your public lands from our local agents with the Bureau of Land Management.